today we are diving into the fascinating world of vertebrate circulatory systems. So, as we know, the circulatory system is the lifeline of any vertebrate. It is responsible for transporting oxygen and nutrients to every cell in the body to full metabolic activity. This complex network is divided into two primary parts, which is the arterial system, which actively pumps blood away from the heart, and the venous system, which returns the blood. So in this presentation, we will compare the heart structures of three distinct groups: frogs, which is amphibians; crocodiles, which is reptiles; and birds. We will explore why a frog has a three-chamber heart, while birds and mammals require a fully four-chambered heart to survive. So specifically, we will discuss how heart structure relates to metabolic needs, the requirements for a four-chamber heart in endothermic, warm-blooded animals, and the evolutionary advantages of separating oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. So by the end of this session, you will see how these biological pumps have evolved to support the high energy demands of life.
Okay, now let's move to heart structure relates to metabolic needs and activity levels. Okay, for amphibians, they have a three-chamber heart which consists of two atria and one ventricle. The two atria receive blood from two different circuits: oxygenated blood from the lungs and deoxygenated blood from the body. However, because there is only one ventricle, these two types of blood mix together, which reduce the overall efficiency of oxygen delivery. Despite this mixing, amphibians are still able to generate enough pressure to push blood to both the lung and the rest of the body. They also have a pulmocutaneous circuit which allow gas exchange to occur not only in the lungs but also through the skin. This is especially useful in aquatic or moist environments. Okay, next look at reptiles. Most reptiles are considered more advanced than amphibian in terms of heart structure. Some reptiles, specifically alligators and crocodiles, are unique because they have a four-chambered heart similar to birds and mammals. Crocodilians have a special adaptation called the foramen of Panizza, which is a hole between the two ventricles. This allows blood to move from one side of the heart to the other. They also have specialist connective tissue that can slow blood flow to the lungs. This adaptation allows crocodilians to shun blood away from the lungs and toward the stomach and other organs during long periods of submergence, such as when they are underwater for extended time. Okay, finally, let's discuss about birds. Birds have a fully four-chambered heart made up of two atria and two ventricles. This structure completely separates oxygenated and deoxygenated blood, making circulation very efficient. The right side of the heart receives deoxygenated blood from the body and sends it to the lungs to pick up oxygen. The left side of the heart receives oxygenated blood from the lungs and pumps it throughout the body. Because birds have high energy demands for flight, this efficient system allows oxygen to be delivered quickly and effectively to all body cells.
Next, I would like to explain about how those head structure differs among amphibians, reptiles, and birds. First, in amphibians such as frogs, the heart consists of three chambers, which are two atria and one ventricle. Because there is only one ventricle, so oxygenate and deoxygenate blood can mix, resulting in a less efficient oxygen delivery system. This structure is suitable for amphibians because they have lower metabolic rates and activity levels. Secondly, in reptiles such as crocodiles, they are generally have partial divided four-chambered heart. Although they possess two atria and two ventricles, the ventricular septum is not completely divided, so some mixing of oxygenate and deoxygenate blood still occurs. This incomplete separation allows reptiles to regulate blood flow efficiently while supporting a moderate metabolic demand, especially during rest and diving. In contrast, birds have a fully divided four-chambered heart with complete separation of oxygenate and deoxygenate blood. This structure difference allows for every efficient oxygen transport throughout the body. Next, I would like to explain why birds and mammals require four-chambered heart. First of all, birds and mammals require four-chambered heart because they are endothermic, which is warm-blooded organism with very high metabolic demands. The complete separation of the heart into two atria and two ventricles prevents any mixing of oxygenate and deoxygenate blood. This ensures that tissue receive high oxygenate blood at high pressure, allowing efficient circular respiration, and continuous ATP production. This efficient circulatory system supports heart activity levels, maintain constant body temperature, and enables energy-demanding activities such as flight in birds. Without a fully divided heart, their bodies will not receive enough oxygen to support these high metabolic requirements.
Okay, we will move to another part. Based on the point that I have broken down, how does the circulatory system support the high energy demand in warm-blooded animal? All of these points are closely related. Warm-blooded animals such as mammal and bird require high energy to maintain a constant body temperature through active metabolism. Their circulatory system support this, having a 4-chamber and complete double circulatory system, which allow oxygenated blood to be pumped efficiently throughout the body while keeping oxygenated and deoxygenated blood separate. Red blood with a high hemoglobin capacity transport large amount of oxygen, while nutrients such as glucose and amino acid are delivered to the cell for energy production. At the same time, metabolic waste like carbon dioxide are removed efficiently. This enables warm-blooded animal to maintain a high metabolic rate and survive in various environments.
Now, I'm going to explain the effect of incomplete separation of blood in reptiles. First, reduce oxygen efficiency. In reptiles, the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood mix because their heart is not fully divided. This mixing lowers the overall oxygen level that reach the body tissues. As a result, there is less oxygen available for cellular respiration, which means less energy or ATP is produced. Next, this leads to a lower metabolic rate. Since oxygen delivery is less efficient, reptiles cannot produce as much energy as mammals or birds. Most reptiles are ectothermic or cold-blooded, which means they depend on the environment to maintain their body temperature instead of using energy from within their bodies. Finally, the limited activity and endurance. Because of the partial mixing of blood and lower energy levels, reptiles cannot sustain long periods of activity. They can perform short bursts of movement like jumping, sprinting, or attacking prey, but they quickly tire out and need to rest afterward.
Now, I will explain the evolutionary advantages of animals that have 4-chamber heart compared to those with fewer chambers. Animals with a 4-chambered heart, such as birds and mammals, have a complete separation between oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. This is important because it prevents oxygen-rich blood from mixing with oxygen-poor blood. As a result, the body receives blood that contains the highest possible amount of oxygen, allowing organ and muscle to work more effectively. This is especially useful for animals that needs to be active for long periods. Another important advantage is greater circulatory efficiency. In a 4-chamber heart, blood can be pumped at different pressures to different parts of the body. Blood going to the lungs is pumped at a lower pressure to protect the lung tissues, while blood going to the rest of the body is pumped at a higher pressure so oxygen can be delivered quickly and efficiently. This allows faster circulation and better oxygen supply to all tissues. A 4-chamber heart also supports high metabolic rate. Birds and mammals are warm-blooded, so they need a lot of energy to maintain a constant body temperature. To produce this energy, their cells require a large amount of oxygen. The 4-chamber heart ensures that oxygen-rich blood is continuously delivered to the cells, allowing them to produce enough energy to support body heat, movement, and other vital functions. Finally, this system leads to improved oxygen delivery to every cell. Because the blood is fully separated, all tissues receive the richest oxygen supply possible. This allows important activities such as movement, digestion, brain function, and growth to occur more efficiently. These advantages help animals survive better, compete for food, and escape predators and reproduce successfully. So, overall, The four-chamber heart gives animals a major evolutionary advantage by supporting high energy levels, efficient circulation, and the ability to maintain an active, warm-blooded style.
So, to wrap things up, it is clear that the evolution of the heart is directly tied to the energy demands of a species. So, as we have discussed before, amphibians and most reptiles utilize three-chambered heart or partially divided heart. While this allows for some mixing of blood, it is perfectly suitable for their ectothermic, which is lower energy lifestyles. However, for birds and mammals, the four-chambered heart provide a massive evolutionary advantage. By completely isolating oxygenated blood from deoxygenated blood, the heart can pump oxygen-rich blood at high pressure to the entire body. This efficiency is what allows for continuous ATP production for high-energy tasks like flight, the maintenance of a constant body temperature, and the rapid nutrient distribution and waste removal. So, in summary, the transition from an incomplete to a fully divided heart structure is what really enables warm-blooded animals to overcome physical limitations and thrive in the most demanding environments on Earth. So, thank you for your attention, and that's all for us.